Hello everyone and welcome back. I am RMaster13 and today we're going to do a recap of everything that happened last week. Apologies for the late upload, as I've been quite busy lately and haven't really had the time to record and edit this video, so apologies for that. I hope you can live with that. Either way, let's get right into it. As for the swap Pokemon, nothing has happened at all. No one has made any trades, any swaps, so there's nothing to talk about. Since that's all there is to talk about in regards to the swap Pokemon, let's get right into the first battle. And that battle will be the battle between Adam and Marnix. Early on in the match, Adam manages to trick a Choice Scarf onto Marnix Uniclus, which is a dual screen Uniclus, so it is definitely quite beneficial as it really cripples the usefulness of Uniclus. Adam then proceeds to Volt Switch with Heliolisk into Tangrowth against Marnix Whimsicott with Light Screen up. Whimsicott takes a big chunk from Sludge Bomb but manages to survive and is able to fire off a Hurricane which hits and confuses, forcing Tangrowth out. The first kill of the match goes to Clefable, which fires off 2 Moonblasts to take out Uniclus. Fun fact, Clefable still outspat Uniclus, even with its Scarf. Talking about Scarves, if Claydol still had a Choice Scarf, it would have been able to take on Haunter, which it now falls to. Adam then brings in Heliolisk, at which point Marnix decides to sack off Whimsicott, which means Heliolisk gets its first kill of the match. A couple of switches and a bit of damage exchange later, Marnix Clawitzer manages to take out Lantern, which did its duty as a wall and soaked up a lot of damage. As Adam switched in Garchomp, Marnix decided to save Clawitzer and bring in his Landorus T. After a Toxic Maze, Lando sets up a Rock Polish and EQs Garchomp to death. The incoming Tangrowth simply walls Landorus T and takes it out with an Hidden Power. Probably Hidden Power Ice. Haunter then comes in and beats Tangrowth with a Sludge Wave. Marnix decides to sack off Haunter versus Heliolisk, at which point Flygo comes in to revenge kill Heliolisk, and Clefable then takes out Flygon with a Moonblast because he isn't that bulky and Moonblast hurts. Then Clefable dies to Clawitzer Sludge Wave, which means Marnix takes the kill and the victory in a tight 1-0. Next up is the battle between Bart and I. This game is somewhat of a mess though, so let's get right into it. The Sash Lead Mamoswine forces out Honchkrow, so I get up Stealth Rockster easily. As I bring in Starmie against his Swampert, he switches out into his Roserade. Roserade takes a big chunk from Hydro Pump and then falls to Starmie's Ice Beam. Bart then switches in Honchkrow, predicting the Sucker Punch and go for Recover. However, Bart goes for Night Slash and takes out Starmie. Memo then comes in, forcing Honchkrow out again. The incoming Swampert takes a lot of damage from Icicle Crash, meaning it falls to the Earthquake coming right after. Bart then brings in Heatran. With my Focus Sash still intact, I break Heatran's Air Balloon, meaning Earthquake would be able to beat Heatran. However, Bart makes a nice prediction and switches into Latios. It takes a lot of damage from the following Ice Shard from Mamoswine, but is able to take out said Mamoswine. As Latios is rather low, Bart goes for Memento against Florges, then switches in Heatran, which is a questionable decision to say the least, as Heatran has very little setup possibilities. And Memento usually is used to set up. Anyway, as I am forced to switch out, I go into Hariyama and take out Heatran with a close combat. Although I did make a misplay first by going for Fake Out, risking the burn from Flame Body. With its decreased defenses, Hariyama is an easy pickup for Honchkrow. Florges is then able to pick up the kill against Honchkrow with a Moonblast. And this is where the throws begin. Bart plays pretty well and holds out with going for his Mega Evolution, meaning I can't touch Charizard at all with Florges. Not realizing this fast enough though, I stay in far too long and Bart's able to set up 2 Dragon Dances. As I switch into Miltank and hit a Toxic, Bart Mega Evolves and take Miltank out with 2 Dragon Claws. As Florges comes in, Bart goes for Fire Punch and Florges manages to lift the hit on 9%. Hidden Power Ground, along with the toxic damage, is able to take out Mega Charizard X, and I take the victory in a narrow 2-0. In hindsight, Fire Punch would not have been able to kill Florges, and if Bart had run Flare Blitz, it would have fallen to recall damage plus toxic damage, so in the end, the close call with Fire Punch didn't really matter, but it definitely made sure the game was rather entertaining. The next match we'll be talking about is the match between David and Poppin. The game starts off at a fairly slow pace. Poppin sets up a light screen in front of Alakazam, Poppin goes into Snorlax, David goes into Ratigan. However, David makes a nice prediction, predicting Poppin to double into Azumarill, and he goes for Gunk Shot with Ratigan, making Azumarill take a hefty chunk of damage. To save Azumarill, Poppin switched in his Mismagius. Making an interesting switch, David goes into his Alakazam as Mismagius goes for Shadow Ball. This means Alakazam just dies, and Mismagius takes the first kill of the match. David then switches in Jolteon and goes for Volt Switch. With the light screen still up though, Mismagius takes the hit, getting in range to eat its Salac Berry, meaning Mismagius gets a +1 speed race. Expecting David to be unable to take out Mismagius, Poppin goes for Nasty Plot. Jolteon, which gets switched in a turn after, gets popped by 2 of Mismagius Shadow Balls. David then switches in Ratigan. Predicting the Sucker Punch, Poppin goes for Endure. Poppin then switches out, but David reads it and goes for Gunk Shot, meaning Ratigan gets a kill on Azumarill. Salaman then comes in to revenge kill Ratigan with an Outrage. As it succeeds, it gets an attack rage from Moxie, meaning that both Venusaur and Entei simply die to the outrages. Keldeo then comes in, an interesting Keldeo that is, as it is a FUCL set. David goes for the Poison Jab as Poppin switches out into Mesprit. David gets the lucky poison, forcing Poppin to sack Mesprit the next turn. Poppin then switches in Infernape. However, as Poppin realizes Infernape might not be able to take it out, he switches back out into Salamence, which dies to the Aqua Tail. Interestingly enough, Infernape comes back in, and as it is carved, goes for U-turn, getting a little bit of chip damage on Keldeo. Poppin then goes into Mismagius and sacks it off. With the Life Orb racking up, Infernape is now able to take out Keldeo with close combat to finish up the game in a 2-0 victory for Poppin. I said last game started off at a somewhat slow pace, but this game is far, far slower. The first 20 turns is setting up, getting forced out, setting up screens, removing them, damage exchange, etc. The first kill of the match goes to Megalopunny though, as it is able to pick up a kill against Victor's Suicune. The following interesting occasion, it's probably a better word, is Zapdos taking out Fortress with a Heat Wave. Victor then switches in Virizion against Zapdos. As Victor goes for Toxic to cripple the longevity of Zapdos, Yorick's Zapdos misses the Heat Wave, meaning Virizion is a very lucky pony horse thing. I don't really know what it is, so pony horse thing. There you go. Anyway, instead of almost that one, Victor proceeds to switch in Rhyperior and Yorick misses Heatwave again, although this isn't quite a big of a deal. Rhyperior then goes for Stone Edge, which takes out Yorick's incoming Cresselia. Manaphy comes in and fires off a Surf, which is something the incoming Virizion takes no problemo. Had the missed Heatwave hit though, Virizion would have fallen and Victor would have been in quite a pickle. Either way, Manaphy takes out Virizion a turn after with Ice Beam, after taking a lot of damage from an Energy Ball. To revenge kill the Manaphy, Victor brings in Azelf, which takes it out with Psychic. Azelf takes a hit from Megalopunny's Fake Out and sets up a Reflect, allowing it to live a U-turn from Tornadus Tyrion. Azelf falls the turn after to Zapdos Heatwave. At this point, Victor decides to switch in Dragonite and set up a sub to stall Zapdos into death, as it is Toxic. This Toxic ends up taking out Zapdos, meaning Virizion gets a kill as well. With the Reflect that had been set up by Azelf still up, Victor is able to live a bunch of Ice Shards from Yorick's Donphan, allowing it to set up 3 Dragon Dances and have nearly full health. At this point, Dragonite is able to sweep through the final 3 monsters from Yorick, meaning Victor takes the victory. Victory in a 2-0 fashion. That brings us to the standings. With 1 week left to play before the playoffs, there is but one person already secured to be in playoffs. That person would be me. With 5 and 1, I am seated in first place, and unable to drop out of the top 4. Places 2 to 6 are all able to race to or drop out of the top 4. Number 7 and number 8, being David and Bart, have no way of getting into playoffs anymore. David, with a score of 0 and 6, and a differential of minus 25, does still have a chance at taking Bart's 7th place though, meaning he would finally be able to leave the last place. To do that, however, he has to beat Bart with at least 4-0 in their final match. 4th and 6th are Adam and Poppin with a score of 3 and 3 and a differential of plus 6 and plus 3 respectively. Number 2, 3 and 4 all share the same win-loss ratio with 4 wins and 2 losses. However, with the differential of plus 13, Jurek takes the 2nd spot, whereas Victor is 3rd with plus 8 and Marnix just about lags behind with a differential of plus 5. Now that the standings are out of the way, let's take a look at the kill leaders of the FUCL. At number 5 we have a new entry, being Zapdos, who picked up 2 kills and a death this week, bringing it to a score of 6 and 4. 4th place is shared by Megalopony, Ratigan and the newcomer, Heliolisk, as they all have score of 6 and 3. Number 3 shares the same deaths, however with 1 kill more, Garchomp is slightly ahead of the number 4s. Bisharp didn't get to play this week, meaning he is still stuck at 8 and 2. However, Mamoswine was able to pick up 2 kills, as well as death, leaving him at the same differential as Bisharp in 2nd place. And the number 1 who picked up 3 kills and no deaths is Dragonite, as he is now at an impressive score of 11 and 2. As for the upcoming battles and predictions, last week I scored 3 points, whereas Poppin scored only 2. I predicted the outcome of Adam versus Marnix correctly. Both Poppin and me mispredicted the battle between Jurek and Victor though, so that's why we don't have the full points. Either way, this means I'm getting close to him again. Okay, let me try that again. Because I am still behind is the main reason for my maybe somewhat controversial picks this week. Anyway, we have seen some surprises before. Either way, back to this week. And boys, it's an interesting week. David versus Bart, or Infio versus McLilypad, decides who will turn out to be last in this league. All other matches will decide who goes through to the playoffs and who doesn't. As I said before, David versus Bart, if David manages to win in 4-0 manner, or more, David is able to give his final spot to Bart, meaning he is no longer in 8th place for the first time this season. It's going to prove to be quite tough though, so we'll have to see how it goes. The winner of Victor versus Marnix is guaranteed to continue to the playoffs. The loser is dependent on the other matches. For Jurek to be unable to continue onwards, he would have to lose at least 5-0, and Adam has to win at least 3-0 versus me. For Adam to go to the playoffs, he has to beat me and surpass the loser of the battle between Victor and Marnix, as well as stay ahead of Poppin, if he does indeed beat Jurek. For Poppin goes pretty much the same, although it would be a lot harder for him to reach playoffs if Adam does win. Either way, let's take a look at the predictions. I predict Marnix to win versus Jurek, while Poppin expects the exact opposite. I have to say this was quite a hard match to call, as I feel like both have been playing pretty well recently. However, due to the fact that I am still a point behind Poppin, I wanted to differ from his choices as much as possible. Victor does seem to be the most consistent player for now though. Jurek versus Poppin is a match we both expect Jurek to win, as he has just been very good, as well as the fact that Jurek's team matches up fairly decently against Poppin's. Next up is my battle versus Adam. I think my team matches up very well against Adam's team, as well as the fact that Adam hasn't been playing optimally recently. However, it is definitely possible for Adam to pull through and pull out a win, as he is still an amazing battler. Finally, we have David versus Bart. I voted for David because I think his general understanding of Pokemon is better than Bart's. He's just really bad at team building. I also just want David to win at least once this season. Poppin goes for Bart though, who has been playing pretty decently lately, so I can't blame him. Anyway, that's it for this week's weekly recap. Thanks for watching, I hope you enjoyed, and I hope to see you next time. Bye!